Returning to page 14, we're going to now just do an extension of what you've already been doing. This time you can see there that instead of having just 1 point on a line, we've now got 2 points, and now we haven't been given the gradient. So what you need to do to find the equation for an example like this is you need to first find the gradient, and then the second thing is substitute it into the equation that you've just learnt in the last activity. So how do we find A? You would have done this skill earlier, rise over run, but because we've got 2 points, we can use the gradient formula. y2 minus y1 equals x2 minus x1. So we can find our gradient, and then it's just a matter of the next step, putting it into the general equation formula to find the equation of our line. So the first thing that we have to do with this is label each of them, x1, y1, and x2, y2. And then you know how to do this. Substitute that in to find the gradient. So 8 minus 2 divided by 2 minus 1. 2 minuses next to each other make a plus. 8 minus 2 is 6. 2 plus 1 makes 3. And so our gradient equals 2. So now we've got that, we can then substitute it into our equation formula, which remember is y minus y1 equals a x minus x1. So let's put our information in there. Don't be put off that you've got an extra set of coordinates. Just use x1 and y1 from your first pair, your gradient that you've just worked out, and slot it in. It doesn't actually matter which one you pick, but because you've already labelled this x1 and y1, let's not get confused and we can just put them straight in. So y minus 2 equals 2 bracket x minus 1. So that will make a plus as well. And then you just got to remember your steps, which were now you've substituted. You've got to expand your brackets. And then the last step was gathering all the number terms on the right-hand side. Plus 2, taking over makes it plus 2 again, so that makes plus 4. So now we've got 2 points that we know fit on a line that formulate this equation, y equals 2x plus 4. So if you think you understood that, because it's only just the addition of you working out the gradient, then have a go at these questions on page 40. If you still want to do some more understanding of that, then keep listening. But if you do understand, then after you've started some of those questions, it does say that you can do this on the graphics calculator. So turn to page 10 and go through that example. And if you can do that, then continue on the ones there in page 40. So let's go back to this one if you want me to show you one more example. So we've got to find our gradient first. So to do that, we need to label each pair. And so we've got minus 1 minus 2 divided by minus 3 minus 9. A whole lot of minuses in this, so just make sure that you remember your rules and don't forget to bring them along with you. So minus 1 minus 2, it's heading in the more negative direction. And minus 3 plus 9 make 6. So A equals a half. Or you could write that as negative a half, as negative 0.5. So now you've got your gradient. You can substitute it into your equation, general equation for a line, if you know 1 point. Okay, so we're going to use this pair because they've already been labelled for us, and we're just going to put in everything we know, and then expand the brackets and that would be minus times a plus make a minus, and 9 times a half make 4.5, and then gathering all our number terms on this side, so minus 4.5 plus 2 make minus 2.5. So I did go through that second example a bit quicker, so just rewind if you need to. This one, if you want to go back to that, I went through that a little bit slower. So write down your equation after you've worked out your gradient. Substitute it in. Expand the brackets. Move all the number terms over to the right-hand side. I'll leave you with it.